So I spoke to you the other day about the feeder, and here I am today again. I promised that I would come back to you with the clipper. Now, unlike the feeder, this clipper is very, very competitive, right? He wants the best seat in the house, the best seat at the table. And while he eats everything, he has a very peculiar taste. For example, you take some Julie mangoes and you take some common mangoes. And while both mangoes are sweet, uh, he goes for the Julies. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. This is the kind of man. So this clipper is the kind of man that's he's willing to be your stay at home with me tonight kind of man. Just forget the boys tonight and stay at home with me tonight. He's willing to be that kind of man. This clipper is the kind of man that's going to be your take me out however many days of the week kind of man. He's going to be that. He's going to be the kind of man that's going to listen, willing to rub your neck, your side, your toes, your feet. He's going to be that kind of man, whichever day of the week, however many days of the week that you want him to do that. He's going to be that. He's going to be the kind of man that sits and listens to your rant and rage and even your bullshit if you want him to. That's the kind of man that he's willing to be. Because see, by the time his true self come aboard, you are going to know that he is the best man that you've ever had. So now, he doesn't come home. Now, he doesn't have time to rub your feet and your side. Who cares? He doesn't pick up the phone when you call. He doesn't have the time to listen to your rant and your rage and your BS like he used to. He doesn't, he's no longer there. And then you want to complain and people will say, why don't you leave? Even the clipper himself will say, now, since you're complaining, why don't you leave? Leave! But the clipper knows better. Because the clipper knows that he was the best man that you've dreamed of. And the clipper knows that you're in too deep, all hands on deck. And like a gardener, you planted a beautiful garden, went out for vacation, and by the time you came back, the garden is infested with wild everything. And if you want to yank everything up, you might destroy everything. The clipper knows all of that. So he's going to bank on every time that he does something bad, you are going to feed on the memory of the good man in him. Every time he cheats, or every time he starts doing something that's terrible to you, you are going to love him from the side of the good man that he used to be. And you are going to hope and pray and longing that the good man in him will come around. But like a person who maybe who have had their first taste of a cigar or whatever it is that people smoke, and you get that high, whatever it is that they got from that thing, you're going to keep looking for it, but it's never coming back. But the clipper is going to say, you can leave if I'm not good, but the memory of that good man stays with you, and that's what you are in love with. But how many knows that instead of yanking up the whole garden, you're going to need some training wheels, and you're going to need to become that master gardener and learn how to prune a little piece of the stem. Even find a little piece of your seed that's in you. Take yourself up and replant or transplant yourself in another pot somewhere and begin to grow. How many knows that? How many knows that healing and bruising go simultaneously? How many knows that? The moral is not to try to avoid everything, but know that wherever there's trouble, there's a solution around the corner if you are hungry enough to find it. Peace and blessings, love and light. Just let that sink in. And while you're doing so, follow me here, like me here. Check out my the website at www.16barsproduction. You can find my book there, The Conqueror's Quest. It is in PDF or paperback copy. Please do support. And also follow me on my YouTube channels at Diana Wright, DIANNAWRIGHT, and also the 16 Bars Production channel. Stay with me, and I'll tell you tomorrow when I sum it up, and I tell you about the good man. You gotta hear this one. Talk soon.